A murder gripping a town, a mysterious urban legend, and a string of unsolved murders haunting the past. This is Emio, the Smiling Man, a thriller by Nintendo and the newest entry in the Famicom Detective Club series that has been in hibernation for far too long. Emio, the Smiling Man is a dark and violent entry that wildly contradicts Nintendo's usual family-friendly approach to entertainment. What's it like? Get a notepad, sharpen your pencil and your wits, and don't forget to charge your mobile phone as we dive into a spoiler-free review of Emio, the Smiling Man for Nintendo Switch. Before we start investigating this case, would you mind investigating the like and subscribe button? It's the best way that outlets like What's It Like get found on YouTube, and I can't thank you enough for doing so. Emio, the Smiling Man tells a gripping and haunting narrative after the body of a teenage boy is discovered with a paper bag with a smiling face drawn on it over his head. Your detective agency works alongside police, uncovering the urban legend of Emio, the Smiling Man, who kills his victims and gives them a smile that will last forever. I really can't go into further detail as I don't want to spoil the story, but it was honestly a heart-pounding and intriguing ride from start to finish. This is largely in part to its excellent pacing, superbly written characters, and mature themed story that was less Nancy Drew and more Law and Order, which I really wasn't expecting. And that's a good thing. It's a huge deviation from Nintendo's usual bright and colourful family-friendly vibe, and it veers into a dark, brooding, and creeping adventure that will leave chills running down your spine. It's not quite the horror game that many were expecting, but it plays to its strengths by remaining grounded and gritty and not shying away from its mature content. Emio, the Smiling Man is actually my first time playing a visual novel, and the gameplay acts very similar to a point-and-click adventure game of old, but is far more engaging than I anticipated it to be. Your job as a junior detective is to unravel the mystery of a middle school student's murder by interviewing people, chasing down leads, and even investigating unsolved crimes to try and see if there are connections. You will play as two different characters, a male detective with a name of your choosing, and Ayumi Tachibana, who work together on different leads to piece together the mystery of Emio. You take actions in conversations like asking about certain topics to open up new avenues of dialogue, and astute detectives will even know when your interviewees subtly change their behaviour, in which you can examine that person more closely or their surroundings to further open up more investigation channels. You will often refer to your notepad, which automatically adds entries and pages under different subjects to help you with the investigation as well, and it even becomes a way to input answers and solve mysteries by highlighting the respective keywords or people in that notepad. You will complete daily briefs with your colleagues, usually at the end of a chapter, that act as a refresher and make sure you're paying attention. These might boil down to multiple choice questions, or you may have to enter text manually. You can't really fail, as your colleague will correct you if you're wrong and give you some words of encouragement like, "You're a little fuzzy, but you shook it off," which is a nice touch. I only really got stumped on one particular entry, which was having to enter someone's name in Japanese, and it forced me to quickly Google it despite being told 30 seconds beforehand. Aside from that, it's a smooth sailing for most of the adventure. Unfortunately, what may not be smooth sailing is the trial and error nature of the gameplay, which may frustrate budding detectives. While the new text options are highlighted, you often have to select the same topical question repeatedly to progress the story. Sometimes you even have to select the first line of questioning multiple times, then go to the next line and exhaust those options, and then return to the first line of questioning for it to all play out. I wish that the text would have been dulled out or crossed out when the line of questioning was exhausted to save pointlessly clicking each topic until you got the right one. But As mentioned before, you can't really fail at the game, so selecting the wrong option doesn't penalize you in any way, but seeing a character respond with 3 ellipses for the 5th time in a row can be a little disheartening when you realize that you had to select engage instead of talk. While the trial and error frustrations may add small speed bumps into your adventure, the rest of the game will still keep you engaged with its outstanding story and exceptionally well-written characters. There may be some familiar tropes that we've seen in recent anime games, but Emio the Smiling Man manages to somehow turn your first impression of the major players on their heads, illustrate emotion and a sense of loss, and reunite old friends with complex depth hidden under thinly veiled misconceptions. The pacing of the story, which is spread out over a prologue, 12 chapters, and then an epilogue, will have you hooked by the 3rd chapter, slowly planting theories and threads into your mind that you have to follow up, as well as throwing red herrings out there which kept me fooled right up until the thrilling conclusion of the story. Graphically, Emio the Smiling Man uses brilliant artwork with subtle animations to immerse you in the mystery. Each character has their own personality and expressions brought to life by the sharp and detailed artwork. The locations range from desolate and chilling areas of isolation to bustling towns and cafes that create a sense of safety and simultaneously unease while traveling around to chase leads. There are also moments where comic book style animations appear on screen, and it's often accompanied by an upbeat in the tempo of music, creating a sense of desperation and urgency. It's all exceptionally well done, with high production values. For my detectives looking for accessibility options while they investigate the murder, there are no specific options, so to speak. As the voice acting is 100% in Japanese, the subtitles designated are on a dark, contrasting background, making it very easy to read. There's also a great feature when returning to the game after loading a save that allows you to quickly recap what's been happening in the story. As someone who has lived with episodic amnesia, this is a great addition to make sure people aren't left behind after putting the game down for a day or two, as most people won't be able to smash through Emio in one sitting. Believe me though, it was hard to put down. Speaking of playtime, Emio is a robust adventure that will take anywhere from 12 to 15 hours to complete. It's an incredible story, masterfully told with superb writing, stellar pacing, and its incredibly haunting and dark mystery. Emio, the Smiling Man, is an amazing game from start to finish, and left me hoping that the Famicom Detective Club will receive another case to solve in the near future. So, what's it like? Emio, the Smiling Man is like Ace Attorney crossed with LA Noir's interrogation aspect. I award it a 90 out of 100, which awards it a What's It Like certified exceptional game. In the interest of full disclosure, a review copy was provided by Nintendo Australia, but this does not influence my score. Thanks so much for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed it. The best way you can support me is to like and subscribe and continue watching my content if you enjoy it. But if you do want to go that bit extra, you can buy me a coffee or join our Patreon, which shows you behind the scenes of this channel. Thanks again.